then the bars go blam. You wanna go to war, then I'm Uncle Sam. Boom.
How you doing? We're standing outside the Boys and Girls Club, Evangeline Roberts Institute of Learning. Here speaking with the kids. Part 1 was me talking to the kids about life, reality, different issues that they're facing in their everyday life. So I want to thank San Diego. I want to thank Principal Miss Malvo for letting me attend her open house this evening, and we're going to have a good time. So follow me as I walk in. Okay. I want to explain who I am. I'm Brian from Sibley. I am currently right now the first ever face of men's fashion in LA. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I've been in San Diego for about 5 years. I currently live in LA now. The reason why I came back to San Diego and the reason why I felt I had to touch the city because I spent my last 5 years here. And I saw the youth, I saw how everyone was growing up. Not too much different from how I grew up in Chicago, but I just felt like, you know, if I'm going to reach back to my youth back home in Chicago, which is what I do currently, then I definitely want to touch the city that I've been living in for the last 5 years. These kids need someone to look up to look at as an example. They need someone who has been a product of their environment, that they go through, walk the same kind of streets, hung out with the same kind of friends that they're going to hang out with someday as well. So I also let them know that nobody's perfect. Nobody will ever be perfect. So the decisions that you make, you kind of have to live with them. But when you really show how resilient you are, it's how you deal with the mistakes you make. Am I right, parents? Okay. So this is what I'm in for. Okay. I am currently a male model, actor, and celebrity event host. And to the world, you guys hearing about somebody aspiring to be in the entertainment industry, you'll be seeking all the worldly things, you know, like the women, the cars, and the money, and all that kind of stuff. And what you don't understand is that you are a leader within yourself. And whatever you do, when you have that platform, they're going to follow you. Am I right? I'm going to relate you to a story today. I was talking to one of the ladies today. And a very bright young lady. She's very loud, I would say. You know, but loud is not a bad thing. You know, from what I let her know, is that when you're loud, you're setting an example, which is not a good example, for the rest of the class to be loud and yell at the teacher, so they think it's okay. So what that young lady did to me after I opened up for a Q&A session, she asked me how could she channel her energy to not yell at the teacher, and what is the incentive of her not yelling at the teacher. And I said the incentive was that instead of giving them the wrong thing to follow, you'll be giving them the right thing to follow. Okay? There was another young gentleman today. He said that he had problems with math. And I said, what specifically do you have problems with math? He said multiplication. So it's very funny. It's a true story. So I said, who's your best friend here? The entire class, raise their hand, girls. Okay? And I said, what you guys can do to help each other is get some flashcards, you know? If you guys can sit up and Facebook each other or text on the phone or talk on the phone, whatever you do, you can use that to be productive. Am I right? Parents, they need to hear that you are supporting them because I asked them today if they felt comfortable talking to you about different issues, and they did. And I'm coming from someone, this is coming from someone who didn't feel so well connected to my parents as well. You know, I almost dropped out of high school at 16 because I thought algebra trigonometry was the hardest subject in the world. When all in all, what it reflects is that I wasn't applying myself. We're so quick to blame someone else. And when you feel like you can't attach yourself to your parents, you know, because they're the person you came out of, you're supposed to feel chemically connected to, then they cry for attention elsewhere, which is the bad behavior, the getting into fights, the wanting to be the star of the class. This is what I did. And this is why I'm here today. That's why I came to speak earlier. I see a lot of very bright, individuals in the class, and you dress them well, you take good care of them, parents, and basically I wanted them to know that whatever they want to do in life, they can do it. I actually had an exercise for them as well to share what they would want to be. Now I got all different kind of answers. I don't know if you guys know what your kid wants to be, but I got U.S. Marshal to Drew Gleason's clone. You know who Drew Gleason is, right? Oh no, that's not. What are you going to say?
I want to learn game designer for
Video game designer? Okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say I wanted to be a singer.
A singer? Okay, all right. You?
I'm going to say I wanted to be a world-renowned athlete.
There you are, bright and lady. Okay, she's here. Okay, so you're listening. All right. Who do you want to be? He wants to be a rapper. That's about the #1 goal of every black guy watching Rick Ross and making all the TV. Okay? Yeah, you're that's it right here. Okay. So this was to let them know that whatever they want to do, they can speak it into existence. Okay? I got out the Navy, I served my time, and I told myself I wasn't going back to Chicago. Somebody asked me what was I going to do. I said, take over LA. And that's what I'm doing. I wanted them to see the power of words. I wanted them to see that they have someone that they can voice their opinions to about different topics that they're dealing with on a regular basis. Because if they take it into their own hands, well, then you as a parent have to deal with it. You know? They don't have an older brother or something that's setting the right example. Then who are they going to run to? No one. Okay? Also, how I steered clear of a little bit of trouble was I was heavily involved in church. Not because I like church. I mean, I like God now. I love God now. Excuse me. I love God now. Okay? But when you're younger and things like that, it's more so about hanging around the right crowd. Okay? One of our mission statements was to grow around Christian friends that will challenge you. Now, I told them it doesn't mean being perfect by any means. But it means that when you're going to go steer over here, these friends over here that you feel more connected to, you'll go over here instead of making that right decision, instead of making the wrong decision. Okay? So that's also what I wanted to share with you. And we touched on a lot of different topics. I got a lot of good occupations that they want to become. I want to let them know that it starts in school. It starts with studying habits, time management, that type of thing. There was a gentleman who said that, he admitted to me, he said, hey, I need to study more. And I said, you know what, if you study more now, in high school it'll be a breeze. Because the work only gets more intense. That's for sure. I almost flunked out my freshman year. And I was the captain of the basketball team who won the city championship. But that city championship means nothing if I'm in the D-Moke division, where I can never play basketball after my freshman year again. That means nothing, absolutely nothing. So I was very happy to come in here today. I want to thank you all for allowing me to speak with your children. I hope that I steer them in the right direction. I will be back. This is not a first time, one-time thing. I'm going all around the U.S. until I reach everybody in every neighborhood. Because it's not enough powerful black men out here that want to speak the truth and kind of use their experiences to use it as motivation. Okay. I want to open it up for questions. Parents, if you have any questions for me.
Why would you not be in Chicago where black genocide is happening currently? Why would you not go there and use your influence?
You are so right. Black genocide is happening in Chicago. I can tell you something else though. Chicago's always been. CNN just decided to start broadcasting, once it got out of hand, babies and stuff like that. But I actually just headlined a event out there for Idea Clinton. I'm familiar with her, a young lady who performed for Barack Obama. Right. Mm-hmm. I was the only guest speaker that they chose to come to Chicago for that. That was a complete honor. Now they felt me to come back because I went to her alma mater. I graduated from the same high school that she attended when she was a kid. Okay. And after that, knowing the different neighborhoods, it's actually a college prep school. It's a great school, but the neighborhood that surrounds it is not the best. Okay. And that's usually how it is. Like Navy bases are usually in the hood. I've been to a bunch of them. It's cheaper land, okay? But trust me, day by day, month by month, year by year, Chicago will fill my hands. Definitely, that's for sure. Some of them you can't save. Like everyone that I grew up wasn't saved. But when it was time for me to make the right decision and the wrong decision, those church talks, my youth pastors, guys coming to speak with me like now, set in. A bomb went off. And said, you need to get it together right now. Okay. Any other questions? Parents? I went to what age? Okay. I'm 23 years old. I'm about to go to school.
What's your name again? What's your name?
Brian E. Sibley. Okay, if there are no other questions, I want to thank you again for welcoming me, for being here. It was a pleasure. Like I said, I will be back.